Good morning, this is day 2 and we're at the hotel right now, and you can see it's super extravagant. Just look at this, it's crazy extravagant. So anyways, we are heading out right now, even though breakfast starts at 7, but I don't want to wait till 7 because it's going to be too late, because we only have one day in this area right here. So we're going to explore the Borobudo temples first and then head back for some breakfast, and then we'll meet up with our driver to go into Jogja and other places of interest. Meanwhile, take a look at the hotel's exterior. Good morning. You guys will have more photos later. So what do you guys think? Pretty cool hotel, right? So all that for 130 bucks a night. Plus you saw from yesterday's vlog how big the room was, right? So Indonesia is definitely affordable, especially if you come off seasons. So right now we're waiting for our Gojek to go to Borobudo. It's the biggest Buddhist temple in the world, and so happens it's in a Muslim nation of Indonesia. So they have a lot of rich history here, and we're gonna check it out right now. Okay, finally here at Borobudo, and as you can see, the temple behind me is just massive. It's super big, right? So obviously it's super big because this is the largest Buddhist temple in the world, and it can be found right here in Indonesia, right? The most populous Muslim nation in the world as well. So it's kind of like a juxtapose, but it's just so beautiful, and it's surrounded by many dormant volcanoes as well as active ones. So just take a look on the far end. So if you guys see on the far end right there, that is actually an active volcano. So every 4 years or so, that volcano will actually erupt, and so the people here have to go and like take shelter somewhere else. But other than that, just take a look at these awesome views. It's crazy amazing. So here's a little bit of information for you guys. This temple was built around the 7th century as opposed to Angkor Wat, which was about the 11th century. So this place is almost double the age of the Angkor Wat. And the thing is, they only used this temple for 200 years, right? The initial occupants only used it for 200 years. So why is it they only used it for 200 years? Is because the volcanoes erupted and this entire place was covered and it turned into a hill, right? And because it turned into a hill, people didn't know that was beneath it, and they grew plantations over it. So it was not only until Sir Stamford Raffles came to this island, right? So the founder of Singapore came here and he actually discovered there was a temple below it. So they started excavating the temple, and then the Dutch took over, and then I don't know when it was, but they pretty much restored it together with UNESCO, and that's why it's standing here today. Dani here is describing to me that this is the first level of Buddhism, right? And this is, it's called Kamar Datu, World of Desire. Yeah, so you can see a lot of people doing a lot of vice, drinking alcohol, drugs, getting ladies pregnant, and then there's even an abortion happening right here. So this is the world of vice, right? So this is how in Buddhism you cannot escape the cycle of birth and rebirth, right? Yeah, so yeah, a little bit of Buddhist philosophy for you guys. So we are right now at the south wall, which is in the silhouette because the sun is behind us, and the Buddha's position right here is with the hands facing downwards, right? So if you guys see a Buddha image with the hands facing downwards, it actually represents charity, right? So this is the south wall, and it has that image of the Buddha with the hands facing downwards. A little bit more Buddhist trivia for you guys. Okay, so the Buddha here is the meditation.
The west side, and meditation position. And Buddha always closing his eyes. That's the way to avoid desire. symbolized by long ear, a symbol of wisdom, also long life. And little bit smile is the way to respect to others.
I see. So that's the meaning of the image.
Yeah.
Okay, and then it's on this side lah. This entire wall here, is it?
Yeah. West.
West, facing west. So the north wall, the Buddha's hand is like how? Like this, is it? Like this, okay.
The way to stop temptation.
It's protection and the way to stop temptation. Nice.
And level 5, every side, east, south, west, north, will be like this, teaching.
Okay. What do you call again? Kala
Makara.
Makara. This one. So this one also is a volcanic stone, is it?
Yeah, volcanic.
Okay. Okay, so we just learned another Buddhist tip about Kala Makara.
Yeah.
So basically, it is the fact that we cannot go against time, and we are only put on this earth for a very limited amount of time. So that's why Buddhism preaches impermanence, right? Nothing is ever permanent on earth, right? And you can see that throughout the gates on the temple, when you're ascending the different realms, okay, the only thing that's going to limit you is time, right? So this is also like a self-help kind of tip. Don't wait until you run out of time. So the guide was mentioning that even kings and royalty, they cannot escape time, right? If you're put on earth and you don't do good, once your time is up, the time will eat you up, according to what the guide says. So that's a very good analogy, that you can fight anything, but at the end of the day, time will consume you if you don't do what you're set out to do. So don't waste your time on earth. Be productive, make earth a better place, right? And yeah, so much can be actually learnt from the various depictions of the imagery on the temple. Okay, so a few more other information that I gathered is that all the stones are made of volcanic stones, and that's for obvious reasons. So the past rulers actually set up the temple here because there are 7 volcanoes surrounding this area, and this used to be a lake, right? Yeah, and so the temple was actually built in the middle of the lake, symbolizing a lotus. Yeah, so that is an ideal like feng shui setting for a temple. And but of course, with the volcanic ash covering the lake, all the water is already gone long time ago already. Yep. So a lot of information, and the geography of this area is very similar to the geography of India. The temples are also surrounded by mountains, and they have similar materials to work with, and therefore they choose to set up the temples here, right back in the day. So this is the leaf of the Bodhi tree, yeah?
And it's look like the bell of Stupa. It is symbol of 2 lotus flowers, symbol of holiness. Middle one, bowl of rice upside down, it means no more suffering. Last one is the walking stick, symbol of philosophy or religion. Level 7, 8 and 9, inside every stupa with sitting Buddha. Yeah, because in Indonesia we never have Buddha's relic.
Yeah.
So people making stupa to protect Buddha statue. Statue is symbol of dead holy person.
Yeah. So this is the stupa is the shape of a stupa.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep. So we just came down the stairs from the back entrance of the temple, and you can see here it's a lot clearer. The mountains on the background. So these used to be active volcanoes, and now most of them are already extinct. But there are still some over the other end which are still highly active, that erupts every 3 to 4 years. So the view here is really, really fantastic. There are some elephants here, but you can't ride them anymore because Greenpeace complained that it's exploitation by animals. So. And these are their names. And yep, so they used to have elephant rides here. So apparently Greenpeace says it's exploitation, so now the elephants are just chilling inside. So as we are moving out of the temple's compound, you can see just beside me there are lots of these original stones from the temple, because a lot of it at the temple are actually restorations. So with all these original stones, they have numbered it and catalogued it, and eventually all these stones will be placed back in the original positions of the temple. So I think it's an ongoing process of restoration. And there's a very beautiful specimen of a Buddha statue right here. So this is the original volcanic rock that the temple was actually built on. So I'm not sure if this is a Buddha stone, a Buddha image, or is it an image of a wise man or holy man, which is also known as a Lersi or Rusi, right? So this is one of the nicest specimens here. And then there's stone, I mean a really wide array of different stones from various parts of the temple. So yep, very interesting to see volcanic rock being used as a medium to build temples in the past. Okay, we're having breakfast right now. So the hotel that is super big, as you can see from my previous video, comes with breakfast. And breakfast is pretty cool. We had scrambled eggs, both of us. And look at this, the soto ayam. Look, you get a chicken soup and you get a nice mountain of rice with prawn crackers, and then we got guava juice and everything as well. So it's all included in the 130 bucks. So wow, off season, everything is super worth it. Okay, so we are now in Yogyakarta, and this is the Sultan's Palace, the entrance to the Sultan's Palace. And you can see the Hindu and the Buddhist influence here. So you can see the two guardians in the front of the gate is very similar to the ones in Thailand, except that the depiction of the giants are actually, they look more Indonesian or Indonesian inspired. But otherwise these are actually called yakshas, which is also from Hindu culture. So one on the left, one on the right. And you have the Kala Makra on the top, which in Thailand they call it the Rahu, right? And then you have the dragons as well, and you have the lotus symbols that also have little elements of the Buddhist faith as well. So according to the guide, you know, the people here are very open-minded. They're open to different cultures and different religions. Okay, let's go in and check out the Sultan's Palace. By the way, this is the 10th generation Sultan of Yogyakarta. So it's pretty interesting because you can still see a lot of the Dutch influence here. As you can see, the tiles and the stained glass. Right, so a lot of these tiles are actually imported from the Netherlands because you know, at one point of time Indonesia was under the Dutch colonial rule, right? So you get a lot of those Dutch influence. Okay, so as you can see, this artifact behind me is for weddings, and you can see the Hindu influence on the wedding card. So this is to transport the lady, okay, the bride, and you can see in the front is actually a Garuda, and on the side is another Hindu mystical creature. So you can definitely see the Hindu influence here. So cool. Apparently this is the jambu fruit. Now I know. Day 2 lunchtime, and we're stopping down this street right here. The entire street is selling this local dish called gudeg. Okay, it's some kind of a jackfruit that is marinated with coconut sugar. And we also want to eat the lamb satay or the satay kambing. So we are going to take away the gudeg and we're going to find a satay kambing restaurant to eat it together with. So wish us luck. I don't know how this is going to taste like. Okay, next mission for the day is to find satay kambing. So we got the gudeg already. Now we're looking for good satay kambing. So you know where?
Yeah.
Good one, huh?
Yeah.
So we are waiting for the kambing to come, the lamb satay to come, and this is the gudeg. Gudeg. Comes in a nice sustainable bamboo box, and just going to open it. And this one is the famous gudeg shop. So if you come to Jogja, you can go to this very famous gudeg shop. So I don't know what it looks like, but let's take a look. Okay, help, open. Oh, so it's very sustainable. Wow, looks very good. Wow, beautiful.
That is chicken, but this
This
sweet.
is chicken, huh?
With sweet.
And this is the jackfruit, is it?
No, the jackfruit is under.
Under. Oh,
This
okay.
is the spicy.
This is a chili, yeah? Huh? Chili?
Yeah.
Chili, yeah?
And
Okay.
the gudeg is inside.
Okay, so we'll taste it in a while. Wow, the satay has arrived, and just look at the variety. You got the kambing one with the soup. We got another satay that have the soup. And this one is the bones with the soup. This is the barbecue. They call it kambing bakar.
Satay kambing, yeah.
Beautiful. And we have the gudeg and some rice. Wow, this is gonna be good. Okay, I'm gonna do the taste test for the kambing barbecue. Wow, very tender, very soft. Very soft. No lamb smell. Very fragrant. Then they put the ketchup manis.
Yeah.
The ketchup manis is like a sweet soya sauce, sticky sweet soya sauce.
And this one, if you want to eat, just put it in a soup. Right.
Oh, sedap.
Yeah.
Okay, for this one, slightly special. You have to dip the soup first. So just dip the soup. And wow, it's dripping with the soup. Looks fantastic. So I'm going to mix in a bit of white rice.
Yeah, that is the jackfruit.
Now for taste test for the gudeg. This is the jackfruit right here. I put a bit of white rice. Tastes like potato. A bit tastes like potato. Okay, now I'm gonna try the gudeg with the chicken. So this is the chicken that they have immersed with the gudeg sauce. It's a very big piece. Oh. You can taste the coconut sugar that's infused into the chicken as well. So if you like more savory taste, then probably the gudeg is not for you. So it's really a quiet taste. So I think only the locals like it because it's very sweet. So unless you come from a culture whereby your lunch is more sweet than savory, then the gudeg is for you. But otherwise, I prefer the satay kambing. Wow, it's damn good. Okay, gonna try this one's like curry, is it?
Yeah.
Something like lamb curry, yeah, with the rice. Very good also. I like this one. I like the curry. One more. Oh, sedap. So that was a fantastic meal. How many plates? 5, 6, 7 plates of satay kambing at Satay Klatak Jos, right? And the bill came up to about $21. So this is that included like 2 Coca-Colas as well. So well worth it. You can't get this in Singapore for this price. So awesome. Okay, so after a fantastic meal, it's sightseeing time again, and now we are at the Prambangan Temples. So this complex here houses one Hindu temple, that's the one you see behind me, and it houses two other Buddhist temples as well. So it's the same as about 1,200 years of age, and basically this was an original Hindu temple built during those days. Same thing, using volcanic rocks. So hopefully we can go further in to the temple and get up and close with the deities inside, because we didn't manage to get a chance to do so at Borobudo due to COVID restrictions. So hopefully this one we can get a lot more intimate with it. Okay, so this is an interlocking stone, you can see. So it's really like the Lego system. Huh?
Real Lego.
Real Lego.
Kind of the stone from lava or volcanic rock.
Volcanic rocks. Okay, so the temple is within that grounds over there. And outside of the temple, you'll see that there are a lot of all these little pagodas or little chedis. Okay, and it's for people to meditate. One person per stupa, right? One temple, one person. And they have 4 layers of it for the 4 different castes in like from the Hindu traditions, right? The Brahmas, the warriors, and then and the other 2. So yep, these are the ruins of it, because there are several earthquakes and events that basically destroyed the temples. And up till today, they are still doing restoration, right? But take a look, it's very, very majestic. Okay, so very interesting. There's nowhere in the world that the 3 gods in Hinduism are found together except for here. So on the left will be
Swan.
that one will be Brahma.
Brahma there.
So the left one will be Brahma, and he has the vehicle in the front, the swan. And then Shiva is in the middle, right here, and Nandi's temple is in the front. So Nandi is the cow, which is Shiva's vehicle, and then the last one on the right will be the Vishnu temple, and this is the Garuda, yeah, the Garuda, which is the vehicle of Vishnu. So all 3 main deities of Hinduism can be found here, and according to my guide here, Nandi is still
inside, yeah.
Still inside, yeah.
But we found only one horn because another one is broken.
Ah, so Nandi only had 1 horn. 1 horn Nandi.
But the eagle and swan not found again.
Oh, somebody take
No, maybe broken long.
broken or somebody, okay.
Cannot
Okay.
connecting, yeah.
The small temple take 44 years to
Yeah,
rebuild.
because the first time nobody knows the original model.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
yeah.
still lot of the stone. Very difficult to get it stone by stone to try and error.
Wow.
First time took 44 years.
Wow.
But the Shiva, the biggest one, took about 27 years.
Wow. Yes, you draw something.
This is symbolize of the Hindu temple.
Ah.
And they call Ratna. Ratna is the lotus flower upside down.
Oh, okay.
And then here the Buddhist. Stupa.
The structure of the Hindu temple is like this, and this one is more like the Buddhist stupa, correct? Yeah. Okay, so we are done with the Hindu section. So we're going off to the Buddhist section. Next section, the Buddhist temple. And we have seen Lord Shiva, we have seen Brahma's temple, we have seen Vishnu's temple on the far end. So now we go to the Buddha temple. Okay, so this is a pro travel tip for you guys. If you guys are ever here for a tour, it's best to get a guide. It only costs about 150,000 rupiah, which is about 15 Sing dollars or about 10 US dollars. And he brought us to this spot where all the tourists are missing, and you can have a time of your life just taking shots for your Insta. So I'm not much of a photo person, but my wife is very happy about the photos. So yep, get a guide, you get all these spots that you never could have gotten if you were to just roam around yourself. So this is the foundation of the temple, original foundation of the temple that is 1,200 years old already, and it's still okay. Alright, so wow, very blessed to be able to touch it. So yep, these are the rubble that they are trying to piece by piece rebuild the temple, and that's the foundation that's still available. So it's really an awesome experience here. Okay, so you can see behind me, this is another very photogenic spot where you can see the three temples behind. So again, it is Vishnu temple, Shiva temple and Brahma temple. And from this angle, there's no tourists to block your view, so fantastic place to be. Okay, so there are a total of 3 Buddhist temples, but as you can see from our tram ride, we're only gonna go to the last one because the other 2 are significantly smaller. So this one here is the largest one, and originally it had 240 Buddha statues here. Unfortunately today, because of looting, because of earthquakes, etc., you can see that all the Buddha statues do not have their heads anymore. So that's a little bit of a pity, but it's already about 1,200 years old, so it's already in very good condition, and they're still doing restoration efforts to build up all the 240 stupas again. So let's take a look. Okay, so behind me is a meditation stupa where the Buddhists, okay, they used to meditate inside here. So it's very much in line with Theravadian Buddhist traditions, where they actually go into seclusion and meditate so that they can detach themselves from material ones and eventually achieve nirvana. So yeah, this is it. Okay, so you can see the difference between the Hindu and the Buddhist sculptures. Okay, the Buddhist sculptures are always done in various blocks for each deity, but for the Hindu deities, it's all built within one block, right? And the Hindus believe if the block is broken, and then it's not sacred anymore. But I think the Buddhists are a little bit less superstitious, so this is an original statue from the Buddhist pagoda here. It's very beautiful. Okay, so this is another stupa that we can enter, and this one is slightly special because, as you guys can see, I believe that the Buddha statue used to sit here, and they used to put candles on top or some form of oil lamps on top. So you can imagine how serene and beautiful this particular stupa would have been in its heyday. And apparently the stupas come with a very low ceiling so that you can bow and pay your respects to the deities inside. And of course we have the Kala deity here, which is of course Rahu in Theravada Buddhism. Okay, so I think this is probably like the climax of the Buddhist temple. As you can see behind me, is super duper majestic. So just a couple of months ago, I was in Europe looking at beautiful churches and architecture. So this is part of Southeast Asian's beauty or in terms of architecture. History-wise, and you can't beat it, right? Because this is 1,200 years old, super duper old. God knows how many civilizations ago this was built. Okay, we're done, so I'm gonna say goodbye to this lovely temple, and probably someday, hopefully, I'll be back again when they have finished more of the reconstruction efforts. Okay, that's it from me from the Buddhist temple, heading on to our next location. Okay, so we're done with the tours of the temple, and as you exit the temple, obviously you will get swamped by all the local merchants that are selling whistles, they're selling drinks, coconuts, lots of stuff. So we're going to look for the driver, and we are going back to see if we can go for another attraction. Okay, back in the hotel right now. Didn't manage to do any more stuff after the Prambangan Temple visit because the sun sets very early here. So around about 4:35 it starts to get dark, and by 6 p.m. it's completely dark already. So we're back at the hotel, and tomorrow we're going to make our move to Bromo, which is at the foot of Mount Bromo, the volcano that we have come to see. So join us tomorrow, although tomorrow would also probably be kind of uneventful because it will be about 6 hours of travel back towards Surabaya. So see you guys tomorrow.